In the dusty plains of New Texas, a young cowboy named Jake Hartley worked the land his grandfather had left to him. The family ranch had been in their possession for generations, passed down from father to son. Jake, with his wide-brimmed hat and boots worn from years of labor, was accustomed to the hard life that came with tending to cattle and working the arid soil of the desert planet. Yet, there was a quiet longing in his heart. He had always dreamed of adventure, of something beyond the monotonous days of cattle herding and sunsets over the endless horizon. It wasn't until the day his grandfather passed away that Jake's life began to change. The old man had been a man of mystery in many ways. He spoke little of his past, and when he did, it was always in the form of half-told tales and cryptic stories. The only thing Jake knew for sure was that his grandfather had lived a life full of strange encounters and wild adventures, even beyond the borders of New Texas. It wasn't until Jake was handed a letter, sealed with an ancient symbol he had never seen before, that the truth of his grandfather's past began to unfold. The letter, written in his grandfather's familiar handwriting, contained a simple message. "Jake, there is something you must know. The inheritance I leave you is unlike anything a rancher might expect. This will change everything for you, just as it did for me. You are not simply the heir to the land, but to something far greater. I trust you will find the courage to see it through." Baffled, Jake turned the letter over to see a strange key taped to the back, a key unlike anything he had seen before. The metal gleamed in the sunlight, engraved with symbols that seemed to shimmer in the heat. Without hesitation, Jake tucked the key into his pocket and set off to find the answers. The key led him to an old, abandoned cabin on the outskirts of the ranch, one that his grandfather had always warned him to stay away from. When Jake entered the cabin, dust swirling in the air, he found a hidden compartment beneath the floorboards, just as the letter had suggested. Inside the compartment was an artifact, a small, intricately designed box that seemed to hum with energy. Jake held the box in his hands, his heart racing as the symbols on the key began to glow. With a steady hand, he placed the key into the lock and turned it. The box opened with a soft click, revealing a holographic projection. To Jake's astonishment, the projection revealed the face of a woman, an alien woman, beautiful and regal, with long flowing silver hair, piercing blue eyes, and skin that shimmered with an otherworldly glow. Her voice echoed in the air, clear and melodious. "Jake Hartley," the alien woman said, her voice calm, yet full of mystery. "I am Alara, the last of the Myrians. I was once in the service of your grandfather, a man of great bravery and heart. I have been waiting for you." Jake stepped back, bewildered. "What is this? Who are you?" "I am your inheritance, Jake," Alara replied. "Your grandfather made a pact with my people many years ago. He saved my life, and in return, I was bound to him. When he passed, the pact was transferred to you. You are now the guardian of my people, and the protector of a secret that could change the fate of the universe." Jake's mind raced. What secret? And why me? Alara's image flickered for a moment, and her voice softened. "Your grandfather was part of something far larger than a cowboy's life. He was an agent of a secret organization that sought to protect the balance between planets, to ensure that power did not fall into the wrong hands. He was entrusted with the care of a powerful artifact, an artifact that, if misused, could devastate entire civilizations. That artifact is now yours to protect." The hologram paused, and Jake could feel the weight of the responsibility settling upon him. "But why me?" he asked again, his voice low with uncertainty. "Because," Alara's voice grew stronger, "your grandfather saw something in you. He knew that one day you would be ready to take up this mantle. You have the heart of a warrior, the spirit of a protector. It is time for you to embrace your destiny, Jake Hartley." With that, the hologram flickered out, leaving Jake in stunned silence. The air around him felt heavy, and the weight of the key in his pocket reminded him of the gravity of what he had just learned. He was no longer just a cowboy. He was the guardian of something far greater than he could imagine. As the days passed, Jake took his time to absorb the enormity of his inheritance. He continued to run the ranch, but now his nights were filled with research and the study of ancient texts and technology. He had become the protector of Alera's people, though he did not yet fully understand the power that came with it. Then one night a ship arrived. It was not like any ship Jake had ever seen. The ship, sleek and dark, landed silently in the desert near the ranch. A tall, hooded figure emerged from the craft, and Jake's heart skipped a beat when he saw the familiar shimmer of Alera's presence. She stood before him, no longer a projection, but a living being. "Jake Hartley," she said, her eyes bright with a mixture of warmth and resolve. "It is time. The forces who seek to use the artifact for destruction have found us. We must leave this place before it's too late." Jake nodded, determination setting in. "Where are we going?" Alera's eyes flickered with a hint of sadness. "We are going to Myria, the planet of my people. You will find the answers there, Jake. You will find the strength you need to protect what is yours." As they boarded the ship, Jake felt the weight of his new reality. He was no longer just a man of the land. He was now a protector of an entire race, entrusted with a secret that could change the balance of the galaxy. And as the stars beckoned them into the vastness of space, he knew that the cowboy life he had known was now behind him. The ship soared into the sky, leaving the dusty plains of New Texas far behind. Ahead of them lay a new world, a world full of secrets, adventure, and the unknown. Jake could feel his heart beating with excitement and fear. The stars, once so distant, were now within his grasp. The legacy of his grandfather and the inheritance of the alien woman who had bound herself to him had set him on a path he could never turn back from. In the vastness of space, the cowboy had become something greater, something destined to protect not just his world, but the future of the universe itself.